All right, as we kick off the community update, we want to talk about a concert coming up on April 20th, part of Monroe County Crime Stoppers. We have Dan on your right, Suzanne on your left. We're going to talk. Both these people are involved with Monroe County Crime Stoppers. Now, Dan, you've been involved since day one, way back in 1986, right?
That's correct.
Take me back to 1986. What makes you say I want to get involved with Crime Stoppers?
Well, initially, the Chamber of Commerce director in Tomah came to me and wanted me to see if I was interested in joining, and so I went to the first meeting and decided that yes, it was a good thing, and I wasn't interested.
Biggest change you've seen since you joined in 1986? Biggest change?
The people that we have on the board, it's I guess it's continually turning over. We don't have the number of members that we had initially. We don't want the number of members that we had initially because we had quite a few. I started out with 19, and that's a pretty good sized board. And now we don't have that many. We have probably 8 or 10 right now.
So somebody's looking in and they want to be a part of Monroe County Crime Stoppers, and it sounds like you need volunteers. How do they make that happen?
They could get a hold of anyone. If they know anyone that's on the Crime Stoppers board, they could get a hold of them and talk to them. They could go into our website, and there's a form in there they can fill out. They could send a note to our post office box, which is in Tomah. It's post office box 144 in Tomah. So it'd be Tomah, Wisconsin 54660, and it would get results. Somebody would contact them and talk to them about possibly joining. And the biggest, easiest way is, and best way probably, is to go onto our website and download that form and fill it out. And I think you fill it out on the website.
Right.
Yes.
MonroeCountyCrimeStoppers.org.
For people that are not familiar with Monroe County Crime Stoppers, let's inform them. What's it all about? Why would they call you?
It's a method to get tips to the appropriate law enforcement agencies with a guarantee of anonymity, and no one will know your ID. And you would the easiest way, or one of the easiest ways, is to call Monroe County Crime Stopper number, which is 608-372 stop or 608-269 stop. And also there's, you can, it goes to a regular line that we have, our own line, our own phone line, and it would be forwarded to someone in the law enforcement end of it, and they would decide which law enforcement agency would get it, which is our coordinators on Crime Stopper board.
We talked about it off here, Dan. Let's say I was going to call in. I don't have to give you my name. I don't have to give you my phone number. So I really do remain anonymous, don't I?
You really remain anonymous. You are given a number when you call in, and when you want to check on the results, and if you are going to get a reward or whatever, you could call Crime Stoppers back and tell them your number is so and so, and they will give you any information they have.
If it's a typical month, how many calls will you get for Crime Stoppers? Typical month?
It varies a lot, but right now we're probably averaging 20 or so a month.
And we talked about there could be money involved if people want to take the money. Talk about that for me before we move on and talk to Suzanne.
It's up to $1,000. The Crime Stoppers board would decide on the size of the reward, and the law enforcement agency, whoever was in charge of that tip, would give us what they would recommend for the severity of the crime as far as the amount.
All right, we're talking to Dan O'Connor, and also this is Suzanne. Now, Suzanne, you've been involved with Crime Stoppers 3 years, correct?
Yes.
Your role mainly is, well, you have a concert coming up on April 20th, Sparta High School, and you kind of handle the PR. So how's that going as far as getting the word out on your concert on April 20th at Sparta High School dealing with a band that plays the music of CCR. How big is that? That's your main job, trying to get the word on. How's that going, Suzanne?
Really well. I've contacted 17 different media outlets.
Good.
Radio, TV, newspaper. There's a nice article that came out in Monroe County Herald. It's out today. And doing more audio interviews as well with some of the radio stations in the area. And this video is wonderful to get the word out too. We really want community engagement with law enforcement to help solve crimes in the area.
It's unique because you really don't buy a ticket. It's kind of you kind of donate to go to it, correct?
Correct.
So a business could donate and buy, say a business gave you $50. How many tickets would you give them?
Well, we figure the seats are for a donation of $15 per seat.
Okay. And this is without a doubt your biggest moneymaker, as Dan talked about.
Correct. This is our biggest fundraiser for the year.
Every other year you rotate. Next year you'll have your main concert here in Tomah. This year it's in Sparta, rotates every year. How do you decide, the music of CCR this year, how do you decide on who's going to come to Sparta this year?
We work with a production company called Encore, and they help us with all the logistics and, getting the contract with the schools and working with the band to make the arrangements and the dates, set a time. And Encore works with nonprofit. I believe it's mostly law enforcement nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. We've been working with them for quite a few years. Crime Stoppers was working with them before I even got on the board, so they've been around for a long time.
And so we touched on, for Crime Stoppers, this is your biggest fundraiser, obviously. That's how you pay the bills, correct?
Correct.
Okay, let's talk about, taking back 3 years ago, Suzanne. Dan talked about you're always looking for volunteers. You've been on part of Crime Stoppers for 3 years now. What makes you say, I want to be a part of this?
It's wonderful to help law enforcement. They have a very difficult job, and I think helping them to solve crimes, recover property, remove drugs, those are big things in the community to help to make it safe, a safe place to live and work and play.
And we talked about La Crosse County as a Crime Stopper, so statewide, there's a lot of what we're talking about in the state of Wisconsin. So this isn't really that unique to Tomah and Sparta, is it?
No, Crime Stoppers has been around, I think, since you said the 1970s maybe, and it's nationwide, international as well. But every state, I believe, has a Crime Stoppers. We do Wisconsin has a state Crime Stoppers conference every fall, and there's a lot of counties that do have Crime Stoppers within the state of Wisconsin.
All right, somebody's looking in. We already talked about the fact that Monroe County Crime Stoppers needs volunteers. Somebody's looking in right now. They say, I'm not sure. Maybe this is free, maybe it's not. What would you say to them?
Oh, come and attend one of our meetings. It's open to the public. We meet the second Thursday of every month. We rotate between Sparta, Monroe County Courthouse, and we come to Tomah to the police department. It's on the second Thursday at 6 p.m. On our website, there's an email you can send us, monroecountycrimestoppers.org, or our Gmail would be monroecoccrimestoppers.gmail.com if you want to send us an email.
So if I'm thinking right, Suzanne, if I'm thinking correctly, second Thursday of the month is the first Thursday of the month, so you would be meeting, if people are watching this, you'd be meeting this coming Thursday.
Correct.
And where would that be? Tomah, Sparta?
That will be in Monroe County at the courthouse, Sparta.
Would be at the courthouse. And then the following month would be here in Tomah.
Right, correct.
Okay, that's simple enough. Dan, you've been around since 1986. I'm very familiar with the Monroe County Crime Stoppers, but even though you've been around almost 40 years, do you think people know you're out there?
There's a lot of people that don't. It's just like anything else, I guess, that the popularity kind of comes and goes.
Yeah.
But we're always interested in new members. We're always interested in getting our name out there so that people are aware that they can. There's ways that they can help the law enforcement without being directly involved. And the idea of anonymity is very important, and it's very important to most people. And if you ever call the PD, the first thing they ask you is your name and telephone number.
Correct.
And a lot of people don't like giving that. And this is a way they can do it without giving up your name and telephone number. And they will never get it, not from Crime Stoppers.
We should mention when you and I get done in a moment here, we'll visually show everything we've been talking about, the name of the band, the type of music they play, which is Clearwater Revival, where it's at. There's also a 855 number on there, Suzanne. Is that a number they should call, or I see, I'm looking at your flyer right now, it's a 608-855-9278 number. Is that a number you would recommend them to call for tickets, or what's your take on that?
If you call that number, it's for Encore, the production company, and they can send tickets if it's early enough for them, because they mail tickets to you. But I would recommend coming to the door if you don't have time to receive the tickets, since it's
Tickets
already,
be at the door?
yes, because it's already, getting later in the month, and the concert's April 20th, so if you come to the door, you can always purchase your ticket there.
Now, would you and yourself, and like Dan, for example, being members of Monroe County Crime Stoppers, if people know you, would you have tickets available? If they came to board members besides yourself? How many board members are there besides yourself then? Dan's the president.
We have, I think, a total of 9 board members, and then we have 4 law enforcement officers.
So you wouldn't recommend going to these people and asking for tickets then?
Encore holds the tickets. We had gotten a few tickets up front to maybe, help with promoting the concert, but we don't have them to really give out for people to purchase or to donate, donate to the Crime Stoppers. It would be better to just get them at the door.
The concert is April 20th in Sparta. Next year it'll be in Toma. Is it always in April?
It would be March or April.
Okay, usually those 2 months.
Usually in the spring.
Particular reason for that or not?
We've had really good luck in the spring.
Okay,
It doesn't necessarily have to be, but that's a good time for us to do it.
okay. As we wrap it up with Suzanne on your left and Dan on your right, either one of you can answer this. What's the biggest thing about Monroe County Crime Stoppers people do not know that would surprise them?
Boy, that's a difficult question.
I think, I think most of them know you remain anonymous and there's a possible reward. But online submission for tips is really smooth. I think the p3tips.com software has made it really easy for people to submit tips, and you can download the app for P3 Tips from, Google Play or from your app. What is our app? Other one? Sorry, App Store.
Sure.
So for Apple or Android devices, yes.
Dan, you've been around since Crime Stopper, Monroe County Crime Stoppers started way back in 1986. You're president right now. How many more years do you see yourself doing this?
I would probably be interested in Monroe County Crime Stoppers as long as I'm still able.
Sure. Dan, Suzanne with Monroe County Crime Stoppers talking about their biggest fundraiser. It's a concert coming up at Sparta High School this Saturday, April 20th, just down the road. Doors open at 5. Show starts at 6. Tickets are available at the door. We don't really have a ballpark. We do kind of a ballpark idea, Susan, how many people we hope will be there? If you had to throw a number out there?
I'm going to say I'm hoping for 200 or more.
Okay.
We had around 250 at Toma last year, so it was.
So you'd be very happy with the 200, 250 number then?
Mhm.
Okay. Suzanne and Dan, thank you for your time. And again, visually in a moment, we'll show you everything you need to know about this concert coming up on April 20th. Guys, thank you for making time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
you have to continue to talk with Mike Hanson down here at the school district offices. Mike, we're going to talk about some of the items on your agenda on Monday, the 18th of March. Let's start out with DECA. They've done very well, haven't they?
Right, so we start our meetings out with a lot of celebrations. So our high school DECA team recently went to state competitions. They took a solid, rock solid team and did very well. So we had representatives of Dan Briggs's class who takes part in that each and every year in Lake Geneva. I got to be able to have the opportunity to serve as a judge. While you can't judge your own students from your own district, the environment was extraordinary. So when our students are successful there, that means they are competing against high schools throughout the state of Wisconsin and just doing fabulous work in so many different spaces within, industries across all service lines. So our students are getting top ratings, top placings, and have great opportunities. Several are going to Anaheim for their national competition, so it's great to see them continue to move forward. And what's very exciting is DECA's open to freshmen through seniors, so you can imagine the progression of our students through that each and every year is just extraordinary. So hats off to Dan Briggs and all the faculty involved with that, and to our high school administration, the board that supports this, our families and our student competitors. Just look forward to the great things that they'll do. So along, with DECA, we've got our kids going many different places. We heard from the high school band directors. They're planning, and their trip was approved for a Walt Disney World trip next year to occur during next year's spring break when students won't miss any classes or anything like that. So they're going to start that opportunity, and they'll be performing, and there'll be some opportunities for them to learn some new things as well. Mr. Knepker noted that bands can record a Disney song and then have that movie play while that recording, is being played back. So they get some really interesting work in learning how an orchestral setting might put together a score for a movie and be a part of that. So along with, I know it'll be a lot of fun getting there. There will be a lot of really wonderful musical opportunities for our students that go. Mr. Knepker made mention we were closing in on about 131 students projected to be in the band next year. Trips like that, possibly 90% go, so what an extraordinary opportunity. So they outlined their travel plans, ways in which they'll fundraise for that so that they can really build strong, equitable opportunities for all band members. So we're looking forward to the amazing support of our community for so many different organizations that our students are involved in, and to be on the lookout for that. Our Jobs for America's Graduates program at the high school, they have their annual National Development Conference is in St. Louis, so they'll have some representatives there. So stay tuned to social media and other website posts on the work that our students are doing. So very exciting to honor many different high school clubs and organizations that are meeting last night.
Mike, anything new if we talk about finance and operations we should be talking about?
Right, so we've got a lot going on. We have wrapped up some community listening sessions with our facility planning and got some ideas there. Two options for the future planning of our buildings are starting to rise to the top as we take that broad look at things and start to narrow it down. That's a new high school with some other things that work into that to impact district-wide, and then significant renovations in the district that also could impact our school district district-wide. So we're still kind of out there. We're starting to limit and define more as to what the board might be looking at putting on a future board meeting if they move to referendum. We're not there yet. We want to get all of the information there. Those community sessions were very informative. They really did help shape the discussion last night on a survey now that we'll be launching mid-April to mid-May. That's the projected time. We'll keep you up to date if any changes there, but at their April 1st Board Academy meeting, the Board of Education will start to refine even further a community survey that will go out to all residents who reside within Tomah Area School District. And I can tell you, when we launch our Howl, it goes to about 10,000 households. So as we refine that and it moves to production, stay on the lookout for that survey, because our community feedback is so important in the facility planning process. The Board of Education is taking a look at things that would be the next almost 40 to 50-year plan in the
Yeah.
district. So
Yeah.
very significant discussions right now. We want to have everybody engaged, and check out our April and May board meetings, and certainly the surveys as that conversation continues.
So time frame again, just to emphasize, people should look for the survey in the mail. What's the time frame?
Right, we're taking a look at shoring things up April 1st, so
Okay,
barring any
that's just
major
around the
issues
corner.
there, it takes some time for production and
Okay.
things such as that. So we're hoping for that mid to late April to mid to May, having that completed and getting the results out soon. So we'll stay in touch with everyone there. We'll have a lot of opportunities through our April video chat at
Sure.
that board meeting to
Sure.
get more out, and just keep an eye out in social media, in your mailboxes, etc.
Like we're talking graduation ready, but it's coming up
Right.
on May 25, and we now know who's going to handle the diplomas, correct?
Yes, every year we're so proud and honored to have board members hand out diplomas. Rick Murray and Sue Bloom will hand out diplomas at that Saturday's graduation, coming up fast. I can't believe
Yeah, I know.
we're starting to see 40 days and less
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
calendar.
yeah.
So a lot going on in the district. So we're planning those activities there. So look forward to another wonderful graduation that the high school puts on.
What about gifts and monies? What'd that look like?
You bet. Gifts and monies are always tremendous. So the last night the board received gifts for the Lemon Wire Positive Activity Fund, a $375 donation from the Oakdale Credit Union for books at Lemon Wire, to the Camp Douglas Safety Patrol, a $500 donation from Federated Youth Foundation Incorporated for the Camp Douglas Safety Patrol. For the high school girls and boys athletics activities, a $450 donation from the Michael W. Murray for intramural t-shirt sponsorships. To the Black Student Union, a $675 donation from the Toma Sports Boosters for concession work that the High School Black Student Union took part in. And to the Wyville Playground Fund, a donation of $690 from Hayes Logging. So at last night's meeting, the board graciously and thankfully, with great thanks, approved $2,690 worth of donations. And what's very exciting is you can just see all the different organizations that benefited from that. So our youth and so many things. So yes, we are very grateful and thankful for the donations each and every month.
Wrapping it up on Mike Hanson. Mike, one other thing people may or may not be aware of, another hat you wear is the president of the Rotary, which is coming up. You have your 100th anniversary coming up in the near future. And I mention that because within the last month, you were able to be a part of the chamber banquet and give away an award to a very deserving person, weren't you?
Yes, Pam Gupta, who everyone knows is so involved in so many ways, Service Above Self Award for Rotary. So we were very honored. I've got to know her so well in my 4 years here at Toma, very welcoming, but also just the great things that she has been a part of, organized, her strong presence with Rotary, but her amazing presence as a director of a senior citizen center, and the impactful work that she does to benefit all families. Most notably, I mentioned the Halloween extravaganza, I call it, because it is absolutely amazing. Get to be a part of that every year as a judge, and just amazed at the work that goes into that, and then more amazed from little ones being carried into a costume to adults dressed in some great things, but everyone, families and everyone, enjoying a safe space, warm space, and then working with a lot of different agencies to bring that together. So we empower a lot of people. So Rotary absolutely has that impact, and your local Rotarians, and there are many who really serve above self. So thanks for bringing that up. It was a great honor at the Toma Awards Banquet. And Toma Chamber of Commerce, second to none. They are an amazing team. That is always an incredible banquet. So hats off to Tina, Megan, and Berta, boy, and the Toma Chamber Board. Just amazing what they do.
Well, when we talked last month, looking ahead to the March school board meeting, which was last night, you kind of indicated there may not be a whole lot on the plate, and there wasn't a whole lot, but still enough to talk about, right?
Right, you bet, absolutely. So thanks so much for the opportunity to visit today about last night's meeting.
Mike Hanson, District Administrator, updating us on the school board meeting on Monday, the 18th of March. Mike, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you in April.
You bet. Have a great one.
as the update continues, we're out here at Cranberry Country Lodge on Thursday, April 4th, talking with Whitney Sanjari from Toma Health. Every other year you have men's night, and it's men's night tonight. Very well attended so far, Whitney.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the turnout. This is our first men's night back since COVID, so we're actually pretty excited.
And you kind of rotate the women and the men every 2 years, correct?
Yep, so every other year. So next year will be women's night, and then the year after that men's.
How many vendors do you anticipate here tonight?
So today we have 21 vendors.
And how would that compare to, say, 2 years ago?
It's a little bit down from normal. Usually we have closer to like 25 to 28.
And there are actually a few women here, aren't there? It's not all men.
Yes, we do have some women here, but only the men are eligible for door prizes.
Yeah, and wasn't it the first 100 or whatever got something free? Is that correct?
First 200 got a free girl kit.
Free? And are we past 100 yet?
I think we're close to it.
Okay, we're going to have to go out in the lobby and look at that in a moment here. Whitney, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. Thank you for making time. Men's Health Night going on out here at Cranberry Country Lodge on Thursday, April 4th. Whitney Sanjari from Toma Health. Thank you, Whitney.
Yep, thank you.
And we're out here in the lodge right now. You can see these are people that are signing in right now. There's a lot of people signing in right now. And this is, I think, the first 200. They have up to 200 of these outdoor grilling kits that are brought to you by Toma Health, and the first 200 people will get these tonight, so kind of nice. All right, talking with Derek Daly, CEO out of Toma Health. Men's night out tonight, Derek. Very well attended right now, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Very well attended so far. I heard that people were waiting outside the doors at about 4:30 before it started at 5, so that's always a pleasant surprise to see, and see this type of engagement here from the men in our community and the surrounding area.
As you and I talked in early April, what's going on? What's new with Toma Health that should be talking about right now, early April?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that we have going on is ED, an urgent care remodel and expansion. So we are basically separating our ER and urgent care functions. Our ED functions will expand in current place, whereas our urgent care functions will move from the ED space across the hall to the current specialty clinic space. So some remodeling underway here the next couple months. Patients should see some flow improvements, also some improvements in relation to the waiting room and privacy and confidentiality. So just a number of things that we think patients will benefit from during their next potential visit here at Toma Health. Looking at completion of that project, wrapping up sometime towards the end of May.
I've had some people comment about the hours of urgent care. They wish the hours were longer. They're not till like 5 in the evening.
Yep.
Do you hear feedback about that at all?
We do, and one of the big strategies that we're doing in relation to that is our Warren's Clinic location. So we really think that that is a complement to urgent care hours during the 8 to 5 that they are open during the day. We had heard from our community that they had been requesting earlier hours, so we shifted from 9 a.m. to an 8 o'clock opening of that clinic in Warren's moving forward. We've really seen a tremendous amount of volume growth in there over the last few months. We added in a second physician, Dr. Jill Bolden, and with that, the last couple months have been a couple of the busiest months that we've had in the last 4 to 5 years. So we think that bolstering the Warren's Clinic will also help out with that same-day urgent care type access.
All right, last time we talked was at Toma Health, ironically, where you and other organizations did get $1 million checks.
Yes.
Have you spent any of that money yet? Have you spent any of it?
We have not. That timing came at the tail end of our strategic planning process. So we have, I would say, some good ideas for that money, but nothing that has been set in stone or utilized at a point in time. We have about $1 million to use for our hospice program and another $1 million for Toma Health as a whole. Both of those will go to major improvements or enhancements or projects on our campus, but have not been solidified yet.
Has hospice spent any money or not? Has hospice spent any money or not?
No, they have not either. We've got a couple of bigger picture ideas in the works surrounding the use of that funds, but nothing that we're at a point of being solidified with or able to announce.
I'll let you mingle. Thanks for talking with me. I appreciate it.
Sounds good. Good to see you as always.
Thank you. All right, this is Jan with Brighter Tomorrows. Now, we just talked recently, didn't we?
We did at the Senior Safety Expo a few months ago.
All right, it's men's night out, but not the first time you've been here, right?
Nope, I think I've been here a couple of years now.
Is it different talking to men than like last time it was more women? Is that a challenge for you?
I think it's a different different conversation. I think that men aren't usually as willing to talk about domestic violence and sexual assault issues, so coming to events like this is a great way to have those conversations.
It just started like 10 minutes ago. It's a great turnout. Does that surprise you?
Honestly, it doesn't. I think these events that Toma Health puts on are usually all really well attended, so it's always nice to get an invitation to come back.
And you try to attend most of them, don't you?
We try to attend as many as we can because it's a great way to let survivors know that we're here to help.
Right, for the people not familiar with Brighter Tomorrows, here's your, right here, Brighter Tomorrows, Sparta, Wisconsin. They don't know a thing about it. Inform us if you don't mind.
Sure. So we provide direct services to survivors of abuse, so anyone that has experienced abuse at any point in their lifetime can come to us to receive services. We offer safety planning, crisis intervention, supportive listening. We have a therapist on staff that helps facilitate a support group. We can help people sometimes with financial assistance as well. So if someone's looking for more information on what they can do, if they're thinking about leaving an abusive relationship or if they've had a previous abusive relationship, they can just give us a call and we can let them know the services we provide and they can choose what's best for them.
Is there any criteria they need to meet? Any criteria?
Nope. Anyone that's experienced abuse at any point in their lifetime is eligible for our services, and we mainly serve survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault here in Monroe County.
What if somebody knew somebody that was in an abusive relationship and wanted to get help through you? Could they stay anonymous?
They could stay anonymous, but it's important when people are referring someone to make sure that they want to receive services, because sometimes a friend or a family member might want to help, but they pushed someone a little too much to get services, so it's really important if someone you know is experiencing abuse to just let them know the services that are there, but let them make their own decision too.
And your title with Brighter Tomorrows is what?
I'm the executive director at Brighter Tomorrows.
And you've been there how many years?
This is my 16th year.
16th year? You've been there for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, what about a website if people still need more info on Brighter Tomorrows? Where do they go to get more info?
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or on our website at www.mocobrightertomorrows.com.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, around here at Granville Country Lodge, it's men's night out, and this is Aaron with the Monroe County Health Department. And we've met before, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
What are you giving away tonight?
Today we're giving away some Frisbees that
cool.
talk about fighting the bite, the tick bites.
Okay.
We also have a bag to carry our tick bite prevention kits. So we have bug spray, tweezers, and then a bunch of information on how to remove ticks and prevent tick bites in general.
So there's a theme involved here, right?
Yes.
Okay. How do you come up, fight the bite? There's a theme here tonight. How do you come up, who comes up with that idea?
So we wrote for a grant through the state on environmental public health tracking, and our data is really bad for tick bites in Wisconsin and in our county, so we want to make sure that our county residents are protected from ticks because it can lead to Lyme's disease, anaplasmosis, and ehrlichiosis. So we want to make sure everybody's safe from ticks.
Is there a certain time of year ticks are worse than ever?
In those warmer months, but I've had people come to me today saying they pulled ticks off their dogs in February.
Yeah,
so
well, we had 70-degree weather.
yeah, yeah. Now we got some snow again.
Now, what do you do? What do you do with the Department of Health? What do you do there exactly?
I work. I'm a community health educator, so I work in maternal child health, mental health, and substance use disorder. I work a lot all over the place, and I stay busy.
So you don't have a typical day. Every day's different, I would guess, right?
What was that?
Every day's different?
Yes, yep, every day's different.
What type of questions are you getting from people today out here out where you are right now at Granville Country Lodge? What kind of questions are you getting?
They're asking about how to prevent ticks and what the best bug spray is and what to do for how to protect their dogs, because everybody loves their dogs.
If people need more info on what you do, where do they go?
You can find us on our website at co.monroe.wi.us and then go to the departments and click Health Department. You can see all that we do.
And you do a lot of stuff, don't you?
Yes, yep, all over the place.
And you and I met a while back over the summer.
Yep.
I got out at the fairgrounds for Sober Eyes.
And I'll see you there again, right?
Hopefully, see you good around, don't you?
Yes.
Hey, thanks for making time. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. All right. Fight the Bite, the Will County Health Department out here at Cranberry Country Lodge on this Thursday, the 4th of April, for Troma Health Men's Night Out. Fight the Bite, Will County Health. All right, Dr. Robertson out here, Cranberry Country Lodge. It's Men's Night Out. Doc, what are you doing out here tonight?
Well,
Go ahead.
we're here to introduce the community to talk about health, and part of health now is to talk about health regarding your veins, because sometimes what men fail to realize is that because they just consider it as nothing important, but it's very important to take care of the health of your veins as well.
Yeah.
And in taking care of your health, that could mean something surgical, but most of the time what we try to do is to do conservative measures if we can. And that really only may be wearing stockings. And the stockings, what they do is they decrease the amount of pressure that's going to your veins, and that prevents the veins from popping out, because you can have those varicosities that are popping out, which means that you have some vein compromise. So as we get older, and as our jobs are they either have a sitting for prolonged periods of time, or they have standing for prolonged periods of time, that can create stress on the structure of the vein, and the vein can then break down. And what the stocking does is help prevent that. And will at least prolong the health of your vein by doing just that alone. Now, if that alone doesn't help, then we have other modalities that we can use. And those modalities can either be to close down those veins so that they don't cause those problems. There are veins that we can close down which does not cause harm to your body, because those veins actually are working against you now instead of helping you. And by closing them down, we'll close them down either with heat, thermal energy can close those veins down, glue can close those veins down, and sometimes a procedure that we call sclerotherapy can close those veins down by using a chemical irritant. And then last but not least, we can use a surgical procedure called microphobectomy. And microphobectomy is where that vein that you have that is causing you pain, we can take that portion of the vein out, so that would prevent you from having the pain that's associated with that vein. But all very minimally invasive, so as not to create any major scarring that you might feel that you might encompass with having a surgical procedure.
So it's Men's Night Out tonight, Doc, but could women have the same type of issues?
Women do have the same type of issues. So it's both it's a human problem, and it affects all genders, and it's something that everybody needs to be aware of and to consider in terms of their overall health and fitness.
Share a story with you. About 8 months ago, I had a little vein in the bottom of my left leg that was bothering me. Went in, and it turned out to be a minor blood clot, but it was a blood clot, so it's good to get that stuff checked, isn't it?
It's very good to get that stuff checked. So don't ignore the little problems. Just come on in, and we can let you know whether it's something you need to be. It doesn't always mean that it's something that's going to require surgery. It could be just something that we can take care of with just using minimally invasive tools or medication.
Do you recommend if people have leg issues to wear the socks? The socks are a good thing to wear, aren't they?
The socks are always good to wear, because for if you're on long trips, either on a bus or a drive, or long trips in the airplane, or going to Disney World or Six Flags, you're putting your veins under stress, and by wearing stockings, it decreases the amount of stress that they're placed under.
It's a great idea. Stockings are good. I wear those also on occasion. It's a great idea.
Excellent.
Hey, Doc, I know you're very busy. There's probably people waiting to talk to you. Thanks for making time. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming.
All right, out here, Cranberry Country Lodge. It's men's night out, and this is Carlo with 211. I'm very familiar with 211. For the people that are not, educate me.
So 211, we are a community information and resource service. You can call us anytime, day or night. We're available 24 hours a day. You can call and just talk with us. Maybe you're having a rough day and you just want to call and chat. We're available for that. But also, if you're looking for community information and resources, where to find help in your community, we have a database of resources that we can provide information and referral about.
For example, if somebody was maybe looking for counseling or something like that, didn't know where to turn, you could help them with that, right?
Absolutely. So if someone's looking for counseling, you can call and talk to us. We provide some supportive listening, but we can also help you get connected with a counselor in your local community. So then you can, start developing a relationship with that counselor as well.
So you have people basically manning the phones 24 hours a day, don't you?
Yes.
Do you ever do any of that yourself?
I do some of that myself as well. So not as much as our other amazing call specialists, but I feel like it's really important as a director to continue to be involved directly with the work and the people that we serve.
Do you ever get a phone call from somebody that when it's all said and done, maybe it's hard not to take home with you, that it really hits home with you and it's hard to get over it that particular night?
It can be, absolutely. Sometimes, people touch your heart. That's why we get in this. That's why we get in this work. We want to help people, and hearing the tough things that people are going through and some of the struggles they have, it can be, it can be hard. But that's why we're there. We offer, support sessions for our staff as well to make sure they're doing okay.
Somebody's looking in and says, "I don't know if 211's for me." What would you say to them?
I would say 211 really is for anybody. Sometimes it's everything from I don't know where to find a resource in my community to I just really need to talk to somebody. If you're not sure if 211's for you, give us a call. If you need to be connected to a different resource, we'll help you with that.
All right, you man the phones 24 hours a day. How do you find these people? Do you need more people to do that?
Well, I hate to say it because I don't want to jinx us, but we are fully staffed right now.
Okay.
But, the folks that handle our phone calls, these are people that are trained in human services, social work, psychology, things like that. They have at least an associate's degree, and they go through a real extensive training course to make sure they know how to best support the people that contact us.
So you just don't take people off the street then, do you?
We don't. Some 211 centers take volunteers and, people that maybe don't have as much training, but at our 211 center, we think it's really important to have that additional training for our staff to make sure they're providing the best service possible.
How does 211 stay funded? How do you stay funded?
So we are a community service of Gunderson Health System, and they are our biggest funder, so we're very grateful for that. But another huge funding source for us is the United Way. They are a great partner for us, and then we also receive some funding from our county partners in La Crosse and Eau Claire to help us, keep doing the work that we do.
I talked with you earlier. I said I'm very familiar with 211. You think the average person is familiar with 211? You've been around for a while, right?
Yeah, we've been around since the early 2000s.
Wow.
But sometimes I think we're the best kept secret. It's amazing how many people I run into at these events or just out in the community, and they say, "Oh, I've never heard of you. What a great service! I wish I would have known about you, sooner."
What kind of questions are you getting out here tonight at Cranberry Lodge?
So we're getting questions, about, what is your service? What do you do? Oh, I didn't know, is that for me? Is that something that I could take advantage of? They're asking us, kind of like you did, where our funding comes from, how we're able to support people. But really, we're just providing a lot of education because people haven't heard of us.
Yeah,
so,
and that's a good reason you're out, and it's very well attended tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a wonderful event.
You got all kinds of good stuff. You got the bag over here. You got all kinds of good stuff you're giving away here. So, hey, thank you for talking to me. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. You're welcome. Enjoy the event.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, we're out here at Men's Night Out, Cranberry Country Lodge, Thursday, April 4th. And this is Tracy with an E on the end, right, Tracy?
You got it.
All right, donor. You asked me, first question you asked me, do I have a donor sticker on my license? I said, yes, I do. Do a lot of people have that, Tracy, or not?
About 60% of our licensed or ID'd individuals in the state have it, but that means there's 44% that don't.
Why doesn't everybody have it? Isn't it mandatory?
It isn't. It's a choice. We live in America. Everybody gets their choice. And I think one of the biggest things is people think they have to be super duper healthy. And they don't realize that on average, the average donor only gives about 2 organs for transplant. We don't have to be the marathon runner. We don't have to be 50 years or younger. We can transplant organs from somebody who's 90 years old. We can transplant gifts from people who have heart conditions and have had cancer and histories of all sorts of medical problems. But people think that they're broken and that they can't help other people.
Okay, so I just recently turned 72, so I could donate. Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely. Wow. You bet, Greg.
Why do you think most people don't want to donate?
I think people worry that they're too old or too unhealthy, and that they don't want to harm someone else. But what they don't realize is that the transplant surgeons make those decisions. They make the call, and they're not going to transplant something that's not safe for someone else.
Is this maybe something the family should talk about?
Absolutely. Every family needs to have this conversation on a normal day, and then decide by going to our website at heroicdeed.com and putting your name and number up there so that we can look you up at the time of your passing, see if you're a candidate, let your family know that you've registered, and take care of it that way. Super easy.
So if I plan on donating any type of organ, I should let the family know before I pass on? Is that what you're telling me?
It's always a good idea, because when you make that decision and you properly document it, either on the donor registry or through the DMV or your advance directive, that's your legal decision. So we want your family to already be aware of that decision being made so that they don't have to worry about it at the time of your death.
Okay, now if we look over here on this board and my name is on there, these are people that have the donor on the license. Are you happy with that turnout?
I'm extremely happy, and I'm even more happy that there's 4 more people that weren't registered before they showed up tonight at Men's Health Night. So people that just said, I guess no one's ever really asked. Of course I'd want to help. So I'm just really pleased with how open and honest people have been about having this conversation tonight.
So you're in Tomah tonight. Do you do a lot of these?
We do the occasional health fair. We're going to be at the Community Health Fair in Gays Mills in Crawford County in a couple of weeks. We do different conferences and symposiums. We'll be up at Deerfest in Oshkosh this summer.
Wow.
So we do find that men are less likely to sign up than women. So we're predisposed to hit events where we're going to see a high male population.
So what's your actual title?
I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator for UW Organ and Tissue Donation out of Madison.
So you put a lot of miles on your vehicle, huh?
We do. We have a vehicle outside that's got a camo wrap, just because we know that it's the most important orange you'll ever wear is that orange donor dot.
Yeah, and this is a really impressive shirt. I wish I could steal one from you, but I know I can't. What kind of questions they've been asking you?
Let's see.
For example, I think maybe we already talked about this, but if I don't have the donation orange sticker on my license, there's a way of doing that, but say I'm not here tonight. I don't have it on my license. How do I make that happen?
Sure. You can certainly, the next time you go to the DMV and you're changing something on your license, whether it's your address or your last name or you've got to renew your license, you check the box. You can also go to www.heroicdeed.com or you can fill it out on your advance directive.
It's that simple.
Yes. Super easy.
Thanks very much for talking with me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, we're just going to show you what can be donated as we look at this. I mean, everything you can possibly think of can be donated. So check it out. If you don't have that orange donation on your driver's license, get it soon. It's a great idea. So on this portion of the community update, we're out here at the Cranberry Country Lodge on Thursday, April 4th for the Tomah Health Men's Night Out. We hope you enjoyed it here on the update.